Hello guys, and welcome to my review of the original Doom series. I thought that I would sort of deviate from Mortal Kombat for a short time and do some additional reviews on games, on older games that I still play. First of all, I would be starting off with the original Doom series. Now, Doom was first released in 1993. And this is basically the mother of all first-person shooter games. I think you could call that easily, although there has been an additional game that sort of set the way for Doom and preceded it, being Wolfenstein 3D from ID Software. However, in 1993, the very same company that has brought Wolfenstein 3D to life has sort of built on it, expanded on it, and created one of the most memorable games of all time, I think, and that being Doom. The first Doom game was a milestone in many aspects, not just the actual gameplay, but all of the atmosphere, music, and the whole design of the game. It was, and I think it is still up to date, one of the most unique games that you can have on PC or any other console. With regards to the actual story of the game, well, within the game there's very limited or basically no information told about what's going on if you just jump into the game. The backstory or the kickoff story lay sort of pretty much in the actual handbook or booklet that came with the game. So the main story is that you are a Marine that has been deployed to a remote science facility somewhere around the Mars. In fact, on one of the moons of Mars called Phobos, where they have been sort of experimenting with all sorts of teleportation technology, and pretty much all hell break loose when some of the tests with the teleportation started, and they have sort of managed to open up a gateway to hell, which then sort of remained open, and hell basically infested the space station and then consumed it all. You are then dropped into this remote science facility, and your task basically is to get out from the space station, get to safety, and ultimately to survive. Now, this sort of graphics and sounds, music, gameplay was completely unprecedented before, and has created basically the genre of first-person shooter games, although Wolfenstein 3D came before this and was the actual game that set its foot or set the way for the FPS game. Doom was really what established first-person shooters as they were for a long time, and its influence can still be felt up till today. The original Doom had sort of 3 chapters in the game. First, you just start up on one of the areas of this science facility, and basically you are just trying to sort of get out and survive in this mess that's going on the space station. As you start up the game, you will initially be armed with just a normal pistol and your fist. However, you will be acquiring additional weapons along your journey. It's not long into the game when you get these additional weapons like the shotgun, chain gun, rocket launcher, and plasma gun, and ultimately the BFG 9000, which pretty much stands for Big Fucking Gun 9000 in the series. Although the gameplay is pretty simple, it's a lot of fun. Basically all you have to do is on each level try to kill all of the enemies that try to kill you. You don't have to kill every monster on each level to get out, but it's pretty much advised that you wipe out every creature that's moving and trying to kill you on screen, and you will be operating several switches, searching for keys, opening doors in the various levels, and basically in each level your objective is to find the exit and then to progress into the next area. Now, with today's standards of FPS game, this might be, or this might seem pretty simple, but still up to this day, this run and gun sort of type of atmosphere that this game has, just you going around blasting away at monsters, is still a lot of fun, and it holds up till today. Another thing that I liked about the Doom series, especially Doom 1, is the pacing and the whole atmosphere of the game. I mean, you just start up on a normal sort of space station, first having just zombies running around trying to kill you, then you encounter the first so-called imps, and then more bizarre things will be brought against you as you progress through the levels. And all in all, throughout the very first chapter you will be playing sort of in a normal space station setting. However, on the very last stage it's going to start to get somewhat bizarre, and basically you will be encountering much tougher enemies, or if you're playing it on the medium difficulty, you will be facing off sort of boss characters in the first chapter, who will be basically the Baroon of Hell creatures at the last level of the first chapter. After that you just progress onto the second chapter and then the third one, and this decent pacing that the game had in the very first chapter is going to continue in the additional ones as well. The second chapter sort of starts up looking like you would be still on a normal moon base, and then you would just start seeing weird things on the walls, and just more and more bizarre creatures will be tossed against you. And when you finally come up to the final chapter of the game, then you will be basically sort of fighting in hell, which is a pretty big departure from the original setting. But this plays out pretty good in the game, I think, and like I said, this kind of pacing I just really loved, and especially the music that you hear throughout the game is very helpful with regards to creating atmosphere, fear, tension, or just sort of giving you a kick to blast away on these enemies and just wreak havoc and kill everybody on screen. The enemies itself, although they are not that smart, they will just basically spot you, try to go after you and kill you. they will come in by the numbers, so they can be pretty tough and challenging sometimes. Nevertheless, it's a lot of fun, sort of just to waste all of them. And I really like the actual design of the monsters that were put into Doom 1. Zombies, imps, so-called cacodemons, and all the weird stuff. And what I was especially happy about were the actual boss characters or boss monsters. I always like to play against bosses in any sort of game, because I just think they are sort of cool, and especially the bosses that you have in Doom. One of my all-time favorite bosses can be found on the sort of last level of the second chapter, on the Tower of Babel stage, and that creature is called the Cyber Demon, which is pretty much giant compared to the normal player or the Marine who we are basically playing. And he has one of his arms ripped off, and instead of that he's got a big rocket launcher and sort of cybernetic implants throughout his body. He's looking intimidating in size, although he's not very fast, but can be pretty accurate and deadly with his rockets. So although the actual level that you are fighting him against is pretty big, so you will have a lot of room to maneuver. So it's not that hard to bring him down, especially if you use the PFG 9000, which is pretty much a winner weapon in this game, and can just kill basically anybody in a small room that's surrounding you. Once you defeated the first real boss on the second chapter, the Cyber Demon, you will then be progressing on to the final chapter, and where you will be deployed into Hell. And actually, I think these are the best stages, or for me, these were the best levels of the game. In the first Doom, they were just so bizarre, and when I was sort of younger and first played this type of game, I just totally immersed into the game, and I could really feel the tension and fear. And I think that's what gaming about, is to not just playing something, but also to get you into the mood, get you into the feeling of the game. And the Doom game, the first Doom game, did pretty much accomplish this. Now, on the very end of the game, you will be facing off against the final boss, the Spider Mastermind, who is sort of, according to the story, responsible for the invasion of the demons, and you will eventually defeat him. And then another thing that I liked about this game, that it didn't have a happy ending. Instead of just giving you some sort of a happy ending, basically what happens is that even though you have defeated the final boss, it looks like that you have now just unleashed by mistake hell on Earth itself, and that's where the game's ending, and that's where the second game, Doom 2, is going to kick off. But I'm gonna be doing a separate review for Doom 2 after this. With regards to Doom 1 and the Ultimate Doom, which is basically an updated version of Doom with an addition of a new chapter called Tide Flesh Consumed. It is still, I think, up to this day, one of the best games ever made, due to its innovative gameplay, cool scenery, fantastic sounds and music, and the overall whole atmosphere of the game. Pretty much everything in this game, I think, has sort of the same design or feel to it. You just, when you're just playing it, you can just feel the whole atmosphere of the game, which I think is wonderful, and still keeps me coming back to this game time after time, even if you just fire it up for a couple of minutes to have a blast on one of the levels. I think it's still wonderful, and I just sort of cannot get enough of it. Of course, this is now over 18 years old, and the footages that I've been showing to you were deliberately from the original one recorded through DOSBox. Now, today Doom is pretty much an open source game, so there have been a lot of enhancements done to it by fans, and a lot of additional mods, adding better graphics, sounds, more levels, and better controls with the mouse. So what else can I say about Doom 1? If you are a gamer, then you just cannot miss it out, even if you are one of the younger generations that came pretty much after Doom, and you just have to try it out and experience it how it was in the old days, and maybe you will get some of the feeling that this game has still up to this day. If I had to rate it, undoubtedly I would give it a 10 out of 10. It might have some flaws, but still this game is so much intact. It's so brilliant in design and everything. It's so well put together that it deserves a 10 out of 10.